The morning that Julie experienced her cardiac arrest, we actually had scheduled a visit to see the Planoettes. We were chatting, and first Julie reached her hand out to grab my shoulder, and I realized that her eyes just kind of froze. From the time Julie collapsed, I don't think more than, 2 or 3 seconds passed before I dialed 911. It was very immediate.
Hello, Plano 911.
I'm at Plano Senior High, and we
Okay.
need an ambulance.
All right. What's the phone number you're calling from?
I saw her fall, and her friend tried to catch her, and then she fell to the ground and was not responsive. So I knew that the closest person to me that would be able to help and was an adult was our bus driver.
I saw a man running from the school bus.
I checked to see if there was any type of pulse. I could not feel any on her neck. Tilted her head a little bit to make sure there wasn't anything in her airways. She still was not breathing at that point.
Coach started compressions and said to get the trainer.
I came out, I saw him, and so I ran to the double doors. And at that time, I think the twin girls, Riley and Christy, must have been coming past me.
Coach Foley comes running and goes, "Get the AED."
She said, "Hey, do you know how to set up the AED machine?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, why don't you go ahead and get that set up while I do I can finish the compressions."
I take my ambu mask off, I open that up, pull it apart, put it on her, retilt her head, and then at that point, I asked Tom to stop, and I give 2 rescue breaths, and then I take over compressions.
Is there somebody else there with you, ma'am?
Yes, somebody's doing chest compressions, and we have an athletic trainer just came out.
Okay,
And
so
then-
somebody's doing CPR?
They're doing chest compressions.
All right. Is she breathing?
Is she breathing? She's not breathing.
Is there a defibrillator available?
Is this a defibrillator? Well, there's a defibrillator.
Got there, put it down, pressed the on button. It's really simple because it lays it out for you. And right when you turn it on, it tells you step by step what to do.
Place the pad without the liner on the patient exactly as illustrated.
I took the pads, placed them on.
The machine basically takes over in terms of doing a run on vitals.
Preparing shock. Move away from the patient. Do not touch patient. Analyzing heart rhythm. Please wait.
And it ran its sequence again, and it says clear, and then it did the second shock. And again, the process started over. Is there going to be a positive reaction? And about the same time the second shock was given, the ambulance was just parking.
Once we all stood up, at that time we could see the paramedics pulling up, and they had pulled up from behind us, and so it was almost a relief that, okay, we got the AED on, it's about to do what it needs to do, and they'll be able to take over and get her to the hospital in time.
I wanted her to know that she was okay and that we were going to take care of her. So basically I got real close to her. I was sitting right next to her, got real close to her, said, "Julie," she looked at me, and I said, "Welcome back."
After we were done, and he got the update of one of the police officers that was at the hospital saying all the roles that were played were something that did help, and that's all you want to know is, like, did we help? And I think once he read us that, you, like, realize that it did.
After a little while, a couple of the emergency crew came in to just check on me or to see for themselves. I guess they had just delivered me, perhaps, and now they were coming back to see how I was doing. And I remember having a conversation with one of them. I don't even know who at the time, but they did say, "Welcome back, and you're a very lucky lady."
So from the time Julie collapsed to when the ambulance arrived, it felt like, in ways it felt like an eternity because so much happened during that time. And then after it was all over and I looked at my phone to see how much time had passed, I realized it was only, a mere 3 minutes.
What happens, unfortunately, sometimes is it's such a scary situation. Sometimes people are just too scared to act. Unfortunately, when someone's not acting, when someone's not willing to start doing CPR or something like that, it massively decreases the possibility of a good outcome. Within minutes of not having blood circulating to your brain, not having oxygen to your brain starts to die. Your body starts to die. And that's just unfortunately how it goes. And so people recognizing that Julie had collapsed, recognizing that she didn't have a pulse, and saying, I need to do something, and doing it is incredibly impressive and inspiring, because it doesn't always happen.
If someone is having a cardiac arrest, remember these 3 steps. Call 911. Start CPR. Get an AED.